News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Russia has kicked out 60 U.S. diplomats in response to the U.S. kicking out Russian diplomats and closing an embassy in Seattle over the poisoning of a spy in Great Britain. The White House says the expulsion of the diplomats was not unanticipated and the U.S. will deal with it. Brett Bruin is with the Global Situation Room and says Russian President Vladimir Putin is seeking to push out Western presence from Russia.
Vladimir Putin is playing three-dimensional chess, and we continue to play on a one-dimensional board.
Students and community leaders at UNC Chapel Hill took part in a rally to call attention to the issue of gun violence on campus. Among the speakers was Sarah Chadwick, a junior student from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, where the Valentine's Day shooting took place.
We, the students, are begging for our safety. We are tired of staring down the barrel of a gun while trying to learn in a classroom. Our voices deserve to be heard, and they will be heard.
A manhunt is over after authorities killed a man suspected of fatally shooting an off-duty police officer in Kentucky. James DeCourcy was impersonating an officer when he reportedly pulled over the real officer, Philip Meekham, in a fake traffic stop yesterday. Hopkinsville Police Chief Clayton Sumner held a press conference last night.
This is new to me. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Just ask for everybody's support.
Police say that two people were killed after a tractor-trailer collided with their pickup truck in Iredell County late last night. The names of the victims have not been released, and there was no word on any charges. It's unclear if the driver of the tractor-trailer was hurt. Investigators have not yet said what caused the crash. Authorities also say the road was blocked for hours overnight while they investigated. A Winston-Salem teen has been sentenced to more than 1 year in prison for accidentally shooting and killing a friend last year. 18-year-old Jabari Markel Robinson pleaded guilty Wednesday to involuntary manslaughter. You're listening to NCN News.
The North Carolina Wine and Beer Festival, presented by Food Lion, is coming to the farm on Saturday, April 7th. More than 100 different wines to sample from the mountains to the coast, including Hennett Vineyards, Fish Hippie, Duplit, Gregory Vineyards, Childress, and many more. Craft beer sampling by Double Barley Brewing, Deep River, Raleigh Brewing, Carolina Brewing, and more. And live music all day with the ultimate party band, The Shakedown. And Nashville's soulful Raylan Baxter. Come experience Farm to Glass at the Farm at 95 on Saturday, April 7th. Special VIP tickets catered by the award-winning restaurant Chef and the Farmer. Brought to you by Bedlam Vodka. And a limited number of advance tickets are available right now for just $25. Go to ncwineandbeerfestival.com. The North Carolina Wine and Beer Festival, presented by Food Lion at the Farm at 95. Saturday, April 7th. Sponsored by Hennett Vineyards, Bedlam Vodka, and Spring Hill Outfitters. A portion of the proceeds benefits the Foundation of Hope.
The U.S. recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital is having an impact on Good Friday observances in the Holy Land.
Pilgrims retraced the footsteps of Jesus to the cross amid tensions over the planned move of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem in May. As this Palestinian shopkeeper put it,
I do not expect anything from Donald Trump. This is part of what they are doing against Palestinians.
Israeli soldiers armed with assault rifles patrolled the streets. Robert Berger, CBS News, Jerusalem.
An alarming statistic for a Piedmont Triad County. Another study has ranked Randolph County among the 10 worst counties for deadly crashes on rural roads. Highway Patrol First Sergeant Michael Comer tells WXII News there have been 4 traffic accidents this year so far, and some could have been prevented.
It's never easy to respond to a fatal collision, but what's worse is when we go to a collision and we see it that they were unrestrained, and we know that they'd just been wearing their seatbelt, and they could have been alive today.
Ferry runs between Hatteras and Ocracoke Island are being adjusted to help with an emergency dredging effort. The subject of the popular Serial podcast, Aiden Thide, is savoring a legal victory this morning. A Maryland appeals court ruled he should be granted a new trial.
He was found guilty in 2000 of murdering his former high school sweetheart. He claimed he's innocent. In 2014, the Serial podcast shed light on the case and questioned whether he received a fair trial.
For the last year, I've spent every working day trying to figure out where a high school kid was for an hour after school one day in 1999.
The appeals court said it ordered the new trial because Syed's attorney decided not to call a key alibi witness at his original trial. The podcast helped locate the alibi witness. Prosecutors can still appeal the ruling.
Mike Rayleigh.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
Preston, a Kentucky police officer murdered by a man impersonating a cop, and now that suspect has been found and killed. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the story.
The police chief in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, holding back tears overnight as he announced the death of Officer Philip Meacham.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Just ask for everybody's support.
Investigators say the suspect, James DeCourcy, was pretending to be a police officer when he pulled over Meacham, who was off duty at the time. Authorities say DeCourcy opened fire, killing the veteran officer. The suspect then allegedly stole a white pickup truck and, after a manhunt, was later found in Clarksville, Tennessee, where he was shot and killed by officers.
President Trump indicating the U.S. could be ready to get out of Syria. ABC's Serena Marshall.
During a speech on infrastructure, President Trump with a surprise announcement.
We'll be coming out of Syria like very soon. Let the other people take care of it now.
The possible imminent withdrawal of 2,000 U.S. forces from Syria, where there is still a significant ISIS presence and the battle continues daily, took his own State Department and Pentagon by surprise.
This morning, an explosion in Syria killed 2 coalition troops. American diplomats in St. Petersburg, Russia, are winding down operations at the consulate there today. They are among the dozens of Americans in Russia kicked out after the U.S. expelled 60 Russians. More protests in Sacramento after the funeral for the unarmed black man shot and killed by police.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice!
The family of Stephon Clark plans to release the results of an independent autopsy today. Police officers say they thought the cell phone in Clark's hand was a gun. Wall Street Journal says Walmart is in early talks to buy health insurance company Humana. California coffee drinkers may soon see a cancer warning on their Morning Joe. It's Stephen Raff in L.A. says, though.
I mean, to be honest, the idea of having a warning on a coffee label saying that coffee causes cancer is a little ridiculous to me.
An L.A. judge has ruled coffee has to carry that warning because the roasting process creates a carcinogen. You're listening to ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Don't go bankrupt. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
Violence in Israel. Dozens of Palestinians protesting along the border fence between Israel and the Gaza Strip have been fighting with Israeli troops, rolling burning tires and throwing rocks. The Israelis have responded with tear gas. A plea this morning from the family of an Army soldier missing from Fort Bragg, North Carolina since Friday.
Somebody knows something, and I just need that one person just to tell me where he's at.
Jennifer Seaman, the mother of Sergeant Carl Seaman, right now he's only listed as AWOL. Changes are coming to a statue in the Confederate president in Kentucky's capital. ABC's Mark Remillard with the story.
The 15-foot marble statue of Jefferson Davis has stood in the Kentucky State Capitol Rotunda since 1936, just behind and to the left of a statue of Abraham Lincoln. And since 1975, it's had a plaque that declared the only president of the Confederacy a patriot and a hero. Now this month, the state has removed those words after years of advocates calling for it to do so. The commission that governs the statue said removing the plaque is consistent with an objective, balanced, and educational display. Kentucky never joined the Confederacy, but both Jeff Davis and Abraham Lincoln were born there. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
McDonald's says it's investing in education. The company says it's taking savings from the latest tax law changes and expanding it to help employees who say they want to go to college or to trade school. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Well, with springtime here, head on over to Oakland Feed and Seed for the things you need. Things like grass seed and garden seed. 10-10-10 fertilizer and 17-17-17 fertilizer. Oakland Feed and Seed carries Kentucky 31 and Rebel Turf and 5-star blend grass seed. That'll look good, won't it? They'll weigh up garden seed by the ounce or by the pound. How much do you need? They'll weigh up grass seed by the pound. Whatever your needs are, Scott and his team at Oakland Feed and Seed will try their best to do it for you. Need strong weed killer? Get it by the quart, gallon. And this kills all. 2.5 gallons is only $49.99. Get rid of them quick. They have fish box, 100 count, $19.99. Why don't you come check Oakland Feed and Seed out and check prices? All your animal health needs, from dog shots to wormers. And don't forget to pick up some fire ant control, too. They have what you need at Oakland Feed and Seed, Oakland Road, Spindale, locally owned and locally run.
We're waking up the clouds this morning, showers and maybe even a thunderstorm passing on by ahead of a cold front. Now later today, partly to mostly cloudy. Can't rule out a shower until the front passes, which should be later this afternoon. It's windy and mild with a high in the mid to upper 70s. Now there's really not a whole lot of cold air with this front. It's clear tonight, the low in the upper 30s to low 40s. But tomorrow it's mostly sunny, it's less humid, but our highs are in the mid to upper 60s, so it will still be comfortable for Saturday. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
You know, I don't think we could ask for a nicer Easter weekend than we're about to get. 57 right now, climbing to 70 for a daytime high, and only partly cloudy. Wind's going to be gusting today. Tonight, sunny, or rather clear tonight with lows around 40. Sunny tomorrow with highs around 65. And then on Easter Sunday morning, mostly, well, we get some sun and some clouds there. Highs around 70 on Easter Sunday. So it's going to be a beautiful weekend for working outside, doing some picnicking, or working, getting all dressed up for Sunday morning Easter sunrise services. It's going to be nice. 57 degrees right now at 7:07. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Mr. Weldon Moss, 71, of Sunshine, died Thursday at hospice. Arrangements are incomplete and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services. Again, that's Mr. Weldon Moss. Ronald Vickery, age 69, of Ellenboro, died Friday at his residence, and no formal services will be conducted. And Harrelson Funeral Home is providing the cremation services for Ronald Vickery. Heather Gillespie Davis, age 42, of Rutherfordton, died Tuesday. A gathering will be held for family and friends of Heather at McMahon's Funeral Home Saturday from 10 until 11. Burial will be private for the family. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of those arrangements for Heather Gillespie Davis. Mrs. Mary Louise Miller Green, 93, of Hickory, died Thursday Center in Hickory. A graveside service will be conducted at 4 o'clock Saturday at Mount Lebanon Baptist Church Cemetery. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Mrs. Mary Louise Miller Green. Roy Higgins Bennett, age 82, of Rutherfordton, died this past Monday. The family will receive friends from 12:30 until 2 o'clock Saturday at Fellowship Holiness Church prior to the service. The funeral service will be at Fellowship Holiness Church at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Burial will be in the church cemetery. Military honors provided by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. And McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Roy Higgins Bennett. Lillian Robertson, age 100, of Caroline, died Tuesday at Fairhaven Home of Bostic. A memorial service will be held at 2 o'clock on Saturday, March 31st. At Caroline Baptist Church, the family will receive friends after the service in the church fellowship hall. Burial will be private for the immediate family at Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. The Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Lillian Roberts. Mrs. Allie Ann Street, 74, of Bostic, died Thursday at Spartanburg Regional Medical Center. The funeral will be conducted at 12 o'clock Saturday at Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home. Burial will follow in the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church Cemetery. Visitation will be from 11 until 12 Saturday at the funeral home prior to the service. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is serving the family of Mrs. Allie Mae Street. Cheryl Shue, age 64, Rutherfordton, passed away on March 27th. A memorial service will be held at 2 o'clock Saturday at Crow's Mortuary and Crematory for Cheryl Shue.
The Florida high school. The NRA Political Victory Fund brought in less than $250,000 in January. After the shooting, donations more than tripled to almost $780,000. The Hill is reporting a spike in online ad spending by the NRA, which has to infuriate the left. Now, there's more bad news for liberals. During the big March for Our Liberal Lives event in Washington, the number of searches for NRA membership spiked on Google. But let's unpack the not-so-subtle message that the NRA benefited from the school shooting. Nobody benefited from the school shooting unless you count the activists who seized on this whole thing to advance their anti-Second Amendment political agenda. And there was nothing spontaneous about these protests, in which only 10% of participants were under 18. That well-organized march in D.C., the bus trips to Florida's capital, all of that paid for by groups who remain in the shadows. Mostly it's the women, members of the resistance, of people voted for Hillary. The NRA donations were a reaction from people who saw the organization being unjustly attacked, both in the drive-by media and by a bunch of supposedly apolitical kids. The NRA defends America's Second Amendment rights, and now Americans are defending the NRA. It's that simple, and that's how it's supposed to be.
I was just reading the obituaries, and you know Bob from down the street?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, his lawnmower died.
Should we send flowers?
No, Karen, it's a lawnmower. We should send Mechanic in a Bottle.
This spring, if your lawn equipment doesn't start right up, get Mechanic in a Bottle. You don't need to remove the carburetor or, worse, pay someone else to do it. Mechanic in a Bottle will clean the fuel system and have your lawn equipment running within minutes. Available at the Home Depot, Tractor Supply, and Walmart, or visit mechanicinaBottle.com. Trusted by engine and equipment manufacturers everywhere.
Every business needs great people, and the better way to find them. Something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter revolutionized hiring. Their technology finds great candidates for you. No wonder 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. Goodbye post and pray. Hello ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Reaching 10 counties from the county seat of Rutherford. This is the mighty 590 WCAB, Rutherfordton.
You've seen how recent hurricanes have devastated whole communities, flooding and destroying homes. Join Habitat for Humanity as we work with families to repair and rebuild. You can help someone desperately in need of a place to call home. We will rebuild, but only with your help. Visit Habitat.org to support Habitat's work.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
The Bender family, comprised of Ma and Paul, their daughter Kate, and their son John Jr., arrived in the Cherryvale, Kansas area in 1871. They opened the Bender Inn, serving meals to travelers. The inn was actually a one-room cabin with a heavy piece of burlap dividing it into dining and sleeping areas. In 1873, Dr. York, a traveling medical man, disappeared. To find him, Dr. York's brother started following his trail. It led to the Bender's place. The Benders indicated that he had been there on March 28th, but had left right afterward.
Dr. York's brother discovered that his brother's trail ended at the Bender Inn. When the brother returned to the Bender Inn, he found it abandoned. A search of the area around the inn discovered the corpse of 8 men and a young girl buried in the backyard. It seems the Benders would feed a lonely traveler at a table with his back to the curtain. During the meal, he was hit on the head, his throat was then cut, and for temporary storage, he was then dropped into a pit below the floorboards. Kate Bender, the daughter, a hazel-eyed fortune-teller in the bloom of her womanhood, would probably distract the traveler. Of course, she knew the traveler's fortune. It was bleak. Nothing was heard of the Benders until 17 years later when 2 women believed to be Ma and Kate Bender were arrested in Michigan. They were returned to Kansas and brought to trial. Because of the lack of a positive identification, the 2 women were released, and the Benders were never heard from again. At least they were never caught again. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Welcome to Friday, everybody. It is Good Friday. This is the 30th day of the month. It's 16 past 7 and time to go to the phones and find out what's been going on overnight. And Deputy Weathers is on the phone with us right now from the Sheriff's Department. He'll get us updated. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. And you?
Doing great, thanks. Tell us what's been going on.
Over the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 138 calls for service. The jail has processed 12 arrests, and there's currently 163 inmates housed in our jail. All we got for you today is arrest reports. And Anthony Dozer of Spartanburg was arrested for assaulting a female, received a domestic violence hold. We have a Nicholas Randall of Gaffney arrested for 2 counts of vandalism. We have a David Roop of Forest City arrested for contempt of court, received a $1,000 secure bond. And we have Sloan Goff of Spindale arrested for carrying a concealed weapon, and he received a $500 secure bond. That's all I got for you.
Deputy Weathers, thank you so much, and you be safe this weekend.
Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye. That's a report from the Sheriff's Department. It's 17 now past 7 o'clock. Stood in your office, and we can help you do that if you'll send us the name of your administrative assistant, and we'll do the rest for you. Send her name on your company letterhead. You can fax it to us at 828-287-7182, or you can email it to us at www.wcab59.com. And we'll have the drawing April 25th on the morning show, and the selected 10 will be 10 names drawn, and will be invited to go to lunch with me to Don's Italian Restaurant on Friday, April 27th. And we'll supply a good meal, give away some prizes, some beautiful flowers, give them recognition on your behalf, and have them back at work in no time. Get the nominations in today. The name of the administrative assistant on your company letterhead, and fax it to WCAB at 828-287-7182, or email it to WCAB59.com, the name and the company they work for, and you can hand carry it to us if you like here at 191 Whiteside Road in Rutherford. Come on, boss. She's counting on you. And here's Candy now with a report from 911 Communications Center. Candy, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 425 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 44 for EMS, 10 for rescue. For law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office had 138, Forest City had 65, Rutherford had 39, Lake Lure had 4, and Spindle had 53. Our fire calls, SDA responded to a motor vehicle accident, and Forest City to a motor vehicle accident, and that's all we had.
Thanks, Candy. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. Well, if you got a lot of hustle and bustle to do this weekend, give yourself a break and go to Gregory's Original for meals, for lunch or dinner. If you got friends coming in, don't want to cook for them, take them out to Gregory's. Gregory serves up some perfectly good meals, including those hamburgers and pasta plates, and that spaghetti plate is outstanding. Grinders, steaks, delicious sandwiches. salad bar they'll love. Come on to Gregory's this weekend. It's Rutherford County's favorite. If you got a catering event coming up, need somebody to do it right, call on Gregory. 287-2171. Choose Gregory today for lunch or dinner. And they're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 9, Saturdays, 4 to 9, located in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton. And here's Ruby Taylor now over in Danieltown with the SDO Fire District. And Ruby, I want to first of all wish you a happy birthday tomorrow.
Well, thank you.
What's on the report?
The fire department had one call, and that was to a vehicle accident. And on my birthday calendar today, I've got Peggy Bridges, Joyce Mosley, James Fulton, Madison Mara, and Joan Carlisle. Hope they all have a nice day today. Then tomorrow, I've got Brad Jones, Janice Cole, Jennifer Roop, Gracie Roop, Robert Marr, Sheila Carpenter, Dylan Henson, Sheila Melton, Ray Good, and Ruby Taylor, and Mr. Measures Danny Toms is having an anniversary. And I'll be 88 years old tomorrow, Jim.
88 years old.
88 years old.
That's something to be proud of, Ruby.
I'm proud of every day of my life.
Absolutely. Great. Good for you. I hope you celebrate big time tomorrow.
Well, I'm planning. I'm going to my daughter's.
Good.
And then Sunday, April the 1st, Scott Vickers and Christine Putman is having a birthday, and hope all these people have a nice day. And the signs are in the range today, tomorrow, and Sunday it goes into the secrets. And that's all I've got, Jim.
Well, we're going to be kind to you all day today, Ruby, because tomorrow's your birthday.
Well, thank you.
And you have a good one, and enjoy Easter and your birthday, and I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Right,
thank you a lot, Jim.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
One of the hottest things going on in automobile world today is the fuel-efficient Ford Escape from Sisk Family Ford. You get more value for your money with the Ford Escape, and you'll appreciate the comfort and the value in this remarkable automobile. Try one on for comfort today at Sisk Family Ford, and whenever you need top-of-the-line service on any automobile you own, be sure to bring it to the experts at Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
22 minutes after 7 o'clock, you need your car worked on, you need your air conditioner working, it's not working right for the summer coming on, or your car shimming and shaking, or whatever the case may be, if it needs working on, take it to the doctor. Take it to Dr. Ellenberg up at Ellenberg's Garage. They've got a new state-of-the-art four-wheel alignment machine that you won't believe it. It is really amazing. Top of the line. You'll be back on the road in no time with a smoother ride. If you need your transmission flush, need new tires, all of that can happen at the one stop. Locally owned and locally run Ellenberg. That's Ellenberg's Garage. They're right there in Loing Mill Road, 110 Loing Mill Road, right across from the old Gilkey School. Go see them and get your car purring real nice these hot summer months coming up. Let's check in now with Homer up at Rumnick Ball and see what's happening up there for this weekend. Homer, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Welcome to the weekend.
Oh, yeah. It's officially here, I think, or almost here.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got going on here. We'll start out with the weather. It's been pretty mild last night. Looks like we had 62 midnight, 57 right now. So like I said, it's kind of on the mild side. Looks like we had a trace of rain last night. And it is extremely cloudy up here. Visibility is kind of low. Maybe it'll clear up, but it is pretty foggy up here. We've still got one road team here. I'm sure they've been enjoying the last couple of days of pretty weather. They'll be departing Saturday, going back to Vermont, and that'll wrap it up this year for the road team. Golf play is starting to pick up, getting busy with golfers, considering the weather's been good. The lake's almost back up to par. I'm sure everybody's going to be happy about that. And we're getting pretty much daily reports of bears in the trash, so it's things are picking up here at Rumnick Ball in every department.
Yeah. Although your road teams may be finishing up, I believe they probably are not going to make it up to Rumnick Ball, but the 14th annual Tour de Lure is going to be a lot of folks on bicycles riding through the Lake Lure, Chimney Rock area this weekend. So there'll be hundreds of cyclists from all over the southeast.
I think they're sort of practicing now, because yesterday when I was here, I noticed I seen a considerable amount of bikes yesterday. Of course, they bike here all the time, but it seemed like they were more than usual yesterday. So
tomorrow they'll be traveling through McDowell and Rutherford counties doing this 14th annual event. And, of course, it's always been, I don't know how many hundreds of people show up to do that. So if folks are traveling up that way tomorrow, they want to be cautious and aware of the fact there'll be a lot of people on bicycles riding around those curves.
Exactly. Give them the right of way.
Listen, you have a great day and a good Easter to you, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye-bye. It's 26 now past the hour of 7 o'clock, and you're listening to the Morning Report here on WCAB Rutherfordton.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck customer for life.
Easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
You know, it's one of those things we don't think about through the day until we're sitting at night trying to be comfortable, and all of a sudden we see this bug crawling out from under the couch or out from under the refrigerator, or see this crazy thing flying above us. Well, let me give you a phone number to write down, have it close by, and call anytime, 287-5171. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Now, Tim Hutchins is the owner, along with his family. They've got a great thing going with honest, dependable, and on-time service. They've been voted the best in the business 8 years in a row. And they appreciate the confidence you placed in them, and they promise to continue being the best they can be in this business. So if you want to go ahead and call before the infestation gets bigger and deeper, call Hutchins Pest Control today, 287-5171, Hutchins Pest Control. Here's Bob Hodge now up in Hudlow with the report from the Hudlow Volunteer Fire District. Good morning, Bob.
Well, good Friday morning.
It certainly is. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, Bob.
Well, looks like it's going to be that way, so that's going to turn out good for Easter there.
That's right.
The kids can get out and enjoy hunting Easter eggs.
Well, they probably already started their long break. They're off out of school today and off next week, so they're probably sleeping in, many of them.
Oh, they're probably sleeping in this morning there, making up for it there, but yeah. There'll be a lot of things going on this weekend, so I guess the weather will be pretty for it. And it'll be nice for us up here. And, Jim, with the fire department, it's been quiet overnight. We answered a medical call. Hadn't had any fire or red calls or anything. I want to say happy birthday to Kevin McAbee and Hannah Mabrier. And then for Saturday, Ruby Taylor there. And then for Sunday, Ray Hodge and David and Ann Trammell wedding anniversary. And, Jim, that's about it up here. Things are running along good. And I hope everybody has a happy Easter weekend.
You know, Bob, it's hard to believe that we are already 3 months gone in this year already. It seemed like the year just started, but we're already finishing the third month.
It won't be long before we'll have the half of the year over with already behind us here before we know it there.
We'll be shooting fireworks on July 4th before you turn around good.
We'll be going to the July 4th fireworks there, yeah, that's right. And all these Mayfest, I guess they'll still have that in Ralston, won't they?
Yeah,
Mayfest?
Sure will. First Saturday in May, it sure will.
Yeah, so that ain't going to be but a few weeks off here, so everything will be coming up here for too long. A lot of things going along.
Well, Bob, listen, you have a great weekend. Enjoy your Easter, and I'll see you next time.
Well, you do the same.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Your car only needs one place to prepare for the cooler months ahead. RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue, Ruth. RS Express Inspection Station can get you back on the road and keep you legal. RS Speedy Lube Station has 2 lanes to get you in and out in no time. They carry wiper blades and will rotate, transmission flush, and car wash. Count on Chris and his team to take care of all your car needs. Make it your first stop. RS Speedy Lube Service Center, Railroad Avenue in Ruth.
All right, it's 7:30 where Friday morning report continues as we make our way over to Cherry Mountain Fire District, and that's where Sue Price is this morning. And I'll say hello and good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Jim.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Hope you are.
I am indeed.
Good.
Well, is Richard going to go out and hide some Easter eggs for you to look for this week? Is he going to hide those?
Well, I don't know about that now. I don't know if he's able to do that.
You don't even out there, do you?
No. We have not hunted Easter eggs in many a year, I don't guess. We used to help down at the church with the Easter parties and stuff, and with the kids, it's always a lot of fun. Well, let's see, I'm starting out at 59 degrees this morning, so it's already pretty warm out there. Looks like we're going to have another nice day and a good weekend. That's really good. I'm glad to hear that because of Easter and all, so everybody can get out and enjoy the things going on. We had a really good service last night, Monday, Thursday service, and going to have a Good Friday service today at noon. Well, let's see, I have one birthday on my church calendar for Grayson Stackleather, and on my personal calendar, I've got Terry Downs. Fairview's got a birthday for Landon Smith, and First Broad's got a birthday for Lee Brackett, so got a few celebrating over here, and anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary, we hope they'll have a real good day. And let's see, the Hopewell Hollis Clubhouse, 2500 Hollis Road, Ellenboro, will have a smoked chicken and pulled pork supper April 7th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Adults $10, children 6 to 12, 5, and under 6 is free. And the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in beautiful Golden Valley is having a revival service, and that starts Sunday, April the 8th. They'll have 11 a.m. service and a 6 p.m. service. Then Monday through Wednesday, the 7 p.m. services. Pastor Robbie Hensley of Goods Grove Baptist Church in Mosboro is the speaker, and Reverend Jerry Roop and the congregation invite everyone to attend. So good revival coming up there at Mount Pleasant. And I think so far that's about the only announcements I have. Our Easter sunrise service at Duckins Creek will be starting at 7 o'clock, and I think the one at Fairview will start at 7. I don't know about First Broad, but anyway, everybody come out and enjoy some of the good Easter services. I enjoyed the music this morning again. You played some good songs. I love that one, What's Not to Love.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Kind of tells it all in one song, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Mark Lowry does.
Yeah. Well, I hope you will have a good day, and you and Faye have a good weekend and wonderful Easter.
Thanks so much, Sue. You too, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 7:33 here on this Friday morning. Braves did have a good day last night in the opening day of baseball season. They beat the Phillies 8-5 in a pretty astounding ending of that game, I understand. Well, when you want to sound facts about better hearing, you go to see Lisa Terry at Miracle Ear Forest City. That's your first place to go. Millions of satisfied Miracle Ear customers worldwide have been satisfied with Miracle Ear. There's no better respected a well-known brand in hearing aids than Miracle Ear. And you can schedule your free hearing test, no obligation whatsoever, by calling 828-368-4126. You may want to ask about the Miracle Ear Genius 2.0 with the advanced technology that's there. It's really getting rave reviews. There's so many features you'll appreciate about the Miracle Ear Genius 2.0. Ask Lisa about it when you go by to have that free hearing test. And when a company gets an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, it says a lot about them. And when folks brag on Lisa Terry like her customers brag on her, it says a lot about her as well. Go see her. She's at the 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102 office. Phone number is 828-368-4126. Miracle Ear. Well, welcome back. We almost marked you absent.
Oh, no, don't mark me absent today.
How you doing?
I'm back.
Good. We're glad to have you back.
Yeah. That was a good little trip yesterday. I enjoyed that.
Where'd you go?
I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Abaddon, Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
To a theater and watched the play.
Yeah.
That was good. It was on people in a nursing home. I really enjoyed that.
It was about people in a nursing home?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. It was neat.
Very good. Stage show or movie?
Stage.
Really good. I love stage shows.
They had live actors. They were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I enjoyed it. And we had a good day for it.
Glad you got to go.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad my brother-in-law asked me to go.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Went with the Joy Group from First Baptist Church in Ralston.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been with them several times on different things that they do. I know when Rita Justice was living, I went with her. I think one time up to Limbo with them, and then of course my sister and her husband before my sister died.
Yeah.
So I knew pretty much everybody on there. So.
It's a good group of people over there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we'll not brag on them too much. They'll get the big head.
Well, we'll brag on them. Maybe they'll invite you to go again.
That'd be nice, yeah. And I'm sitting here looking at my living room, my kitchen window, and I've just seen my first dogwood bloom.
Oh, yeah?
I said, it don't matter what time, how early or how late that Easter comes, the dogwoods always bloom at Easter.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, but this one right out here is white. There's several blooms on it.
I don't believe ours blooming yet. Of course, it may be by now. As of day before yesterday, I didn't notice it, but maybe they're blooming too. We got a couple around the house there.
Well, I didn't notice it till today, so I'm sure that warm weather yesterday just popped them right out.
There's a pink and white.
They're white. These are in the woods. I had a real pretty. It was actually called a red dogwood. It was a deep, deep pink that Donald bought me years ago for our anniversary or birthday or something. He planted it out front, and that thing grew so big and pretty and was shaped just as round as an umbrella, but it finally died after about, I guess, 15, 16 years. It died out.
They're beautiful when they're blooming.
Oh, yeah, they are. I love them, yeah.
You know the legend of the dogwood tree.
Yeah, that's supposed to have been what Jesus was hung on, and the blooms are in shape of the cross, and the little dark spots is his blood, and I think the center of it represents the crown, the thorns, or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I ain't too dumb, am I?
Pretty good little story.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's amazing how you can take nature like that and see God in it.
Yep.
Yeah. But we hope everybody's having a good day today on Good Friday. It's going to be too wet to plant your garden, so don't worry about it. I've got 56 degrees on the front porch. Birthdays and anniversaries. Well, it's just anniversaries. Earl and Louise Rice and Mark and Terry Crane. I don't have anything on Round Hill. So we hope all these people have a great big day on their special day. And I want to wish Ruby Taylor a happy birthday for tomorrow and hope she enjoys her birthday. And in ways of announcements, the Gilkey School Community Center is going to have an Easter egg hunt. And that's, March 31st at 1 p.m. Children 12 and under, prizes and refreshments after the hunt. And the Easter Bunny will be there. And then Thelma City United Methodist Church at 301 Thelma City Road, Union Mills will be having all-you-can-eat spaghetti supper on Saturday, April the 7th. Begins at 4 p.m. and goes until, and meal includes spaghetti with homemade sauce, plain or mushroom, garlic bread, full salad bar, dessert, and drink. Adults $8, children $3, under age 5 eat free. They have takeout plates available, and proceeds go to support the church. And other than that, I don't have nothing.
All right. Well, I hope you have a good Easter weekend.
Well, I hope you do, too. And if I don't see you no more till after Easter, you might have to hide your own eggs.
I may have to do that, yeah. My problem is I like to break them open and eat them.
And throw a little bit of salt and pepper on them.
That's right.
I hear you. But you and Faye have a good weekend.
Thanks, Brent. I'll see you next time.
Catch you later.
Bye-bye. We have sent out invitations to all the political candidates that are subject to the primary for May. We've sent letters out to them inviting them to come individually, one at a time, to be on my show for an interview about their candidacy and let folks get better acquainted with who they are so they have a better reason to vote or not vote for them. And we sent out letters, and so far I have only heard from one candidate that has agreed to come. Now, if they come, we've got the date set up for them. If they choose not to come, then we'll let you know that, and we'll move on to something else. But we are going to be starting this right about the I can't read my own too far away. It's sometime in next week. It's not the first week of April, but the next week in April, and we'll let you get better acquainted with who they are and why they want to be elected to that particular job.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Luther Gilligan, good morning.
Good morning to you, too. It's a nice day down here.
Happy Good Friday.
It is. Sun coming up. I'm up. We're both going out. We're going to shine today.
All right.
We'll celebrate Good Friday.
I'm for that.
Of course, every day is good to me.
I'm going to let my light shine wherever I go today.
Sir?
I'm going to let my light shine wherever I go today.
That's right. Let your light shine. Don't hide it under a basket.
No, that's right.
It'll be dark. But hey, we're gonna have a time today. Don't know exactly what we're gonna get accomplished, but we're gonna get something done. Maybe 1 out of 6 will get done. Miss the other 5 up. But hey, that's all right. But it's quiet down the city. Part of them, they had one that's calling. Other than that, they're quiet. Just not going over there. They're not going anywhere. Some people got the day off or laying back, enjoying life. Some people go in, get that last day this week done. And me, I'm just going. I'm going out to the gas station to drink more coffee. But I won't wish happy birthday to Adrian Connor. She's having a birthday today. So hope they have a great day and enjoy their day. And I said nothing else going on down here. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you next week.
Enjoy your weekend, Luther. I'll see you then. All right,
take care.
Bye. 7:43, that's Luther Gilligan reporting out of Ellenboro this morning, and that leaves us time for a birthday party on this Friday, the 30th. So if you are one of those folks having a birthday today or anniversary, call that in to us now. Todd's standing by to take your call out there, and we'll put you in the drawing for some delicious daylight donuts from Granny B's. Birthdays and anniversaries coming up next. Give you this website again. I want you to look it up. Go to it, southerncarpet.net, www.southerncarpet.net, and look the carpet up. Look them up and scan through their website there and see some beautiful, beautiful pictures of some carpet and floor covering that will look good in your home. Now, better yet, after you've done that, if you walk in the store and look around and ask all the questions you want to ask, they'll be there to greet you and treat you very fairly. They never put any pressure on you. They don't try to back you into the wall and make you feel guilty about not buying from them. They want you to feel comfortable about your decision to do business with homegrown Southern Carpet. So hurry and take advantage of some great deals right now at Southern Carpet, 1512 West Main Street, Forest City. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. Well, I'm glad to have a company that I'm proud to be able to advertise for and talk with them because they're good friends over there, and they do a great job. They got a long history of serving the community, and that's Henson Building Material. Henson Building Material on Duke Street, Forest City, has a lot of history there. Started out as a sawmill, and they've grown so much more to they're your handy, hands-on kind of store to go to for electrical needs, plumbing needs, power tools, door hardware, cleaning supplies, windows, doors, cabinetry. What are you looking for? You can get it with good customer service. One of the many things that makes Henson Building Materials such a popular place to shop is their wide inventory plus their customer service. They have somebody that will help you find what you're looking for and make suggestions on how to use it if you need help. You can get it and get out without having to look for someone to help you. I like that. Darren Honeycutt, the manager, and his team have over 100 years of combined experience, and there are a lot of things about Henson Building Material that you really love and appreciate. Why don't you check with them, from duct tape to major load of shingles or whatever you're looking for. They got everything. Open 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, 8 to 12 on Saturday. You'll find them in Duke Street. And over across the road, George told me yesterday he's got the little chicks in for Easter, got the bunny rabbits in for Easter, and he got a great price on those bunny rabbits. He'd love to sell those, so come on over and bring your kiddos and let them see the little bunny rabbits and the chickies, and to get what you need and enjoy your Easter weekend with some of those things just in time for Christmas. They got all the things you need for your garden as well. Red Pontiac seed potatoes, Kennyback seed potatoes, Yukon Gold seed potatoes, onion sets are available. Got all the fertilizer you need. And they're open already over there. They open early for today. They're open from till 5:30, and generally hardly do they ever get out of there by 5:30, but that's their posted hour, 7:30 to 5:30. On Saturday, 7:30 till 2. So go to Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supplies and look for those little bunny rabbits, those little chickadees. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Ruby Taylor tomorrow. She'll be kind to her today. She's 88 tomorrow. She's doing a great job there down in Danieltown. Madison Morrow is 16, student at Chase High School. Annette Garland over at Rutherford is having a birthday. Randy Early also celebrating. Del Bumgardner up in Golden Valley, he has a birthday coming up tomorrow. And on the calendar today, we have Earl and Louise Weiss anniversary and Mark and Terry Crane anniversary today. They'll wrap this calendar up here pretty soon tomorrow. So all these folks wishing a happy Good Friday birthday. And we'll have a drawing in just a moment. See who's get to enjoy those donuts from Granny B's.
Two men who knew little about each other before August the 14th, 1941, became inseparably linked together from that date on. Both men were inmates in the infamous Auschwitz prison camp during Hitler's reign of terror. On this particular day, the prisoners were lined up for a ritual dreaded by the inmates. Someone had escaped the prison, and the penalty was that 10 prisoners would be killed for every one that got away. The 10 prisoners randomly selected by the guards would be placed in an area of isolation without food and water until they died. The 10th name called was that of a man who quietly began to weep for his wife and children. Then a strange and uncommon thing took place. Maximilian Kolb, a Franciscan priest, boldly stepped forward to plead with the guard to let him die in the other man's place. Amazingly, Kolb was not shot on the spot for his intrusion. The guard accepted the offer, and Kolb was marched off to what eventually became his death sentence. The prisoner whose place Kolb took survived the horrors of the camp. But every year on August the 14th, the former prisoner goes back to Auschwitz to thank the one who died in his place. The week of Easter is similar for millions of Christians. It is during this week that they make a special effort to remember and to say thank you to the one who died in their place. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for these programs are sold in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
And congratulations are in order to Madison Morrow. He's a 16-year-old student at Chase High School. He's won the Daylight Donuts this morning. Congratulations to Madison. Hope he enjoys those donuts, and I'm sure he will. And on his birthday, we wish him a happy birthday. Now, coming up next hour, we got news from here and there and some comments to make on that. And the Sheriff's Report again with Deputy Weathers will be on at 8:30. Word of Faith Fellowship continues their program, getting the facts out from their side of the story. You've been hearing all the other stuff going on about them and talk about them, and folks who probably don't really know, but yet you get to hear the first-hand information from the folks who are being accused. That's this morning at 8:30 here live in the studio.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
Just finish cleaning up your room. Let's see that dust fly with that broom. Get all that garbage out of sight, or you don't go out Friday night. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
You just put on your coat and hat and walk yourself to the laundry mat. And when you finish doing that, bring in the dog and put out the cat. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
Don't you give me no dirty look. Your father's hip, you know what cooks. Just tell your hoodlum friends outside, you ain't got time to take a ride. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
Yakety yak, yakety yak. Yakety yak, yakety yak. Yakety yak, yakety yak.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. The White House says it expected Russia to retaliate after the U.S. and other countries expelled Russian diplomats over the poisoning of a Russian double agent. Moscow announced on Thursday it would expel 150 diplomats, including 60 Americans, and close the U.S. consulate in Seattle. Heather Newert is the State Department spokesman.
There is no justification for the Russian response. Our actions were motivated purely by the attack on the United Kingdom, the attack on a British citizen and his daughter.
Students and community leaders at UNC Chapel Hill took part in a rally to call attention to the issue of gun violence on campus. Some of the speakers are students who survived the February mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Robert Shintrump's sister, Carmen, was one of the 17 victims of the February 14th shooting. He tells ABC 11 he feels her loss.
It's never something I saw coming. I would have never guessed that my last conversation with her was going to be our last conversation.
A California judge in a legal battle has ruled coffee sellers in that state should have to post cancer warnings because of a chemical produced in the bean roasting process that's a known carcinogen. These coffee drinkers in Los Angeles say, warning or no, they are not going to give up their habits.
You can put labor on it, but I mean, people still smoke, people still drink, so people still going to drink coffee.
I drink 1 or 2 cups a day. If I drank 10 cups of coffee, I'd probably worry about it. But, you know, it's like breathing.
Police say the 2 people were killed after a tractor-trailer collided with their pickup truck in Iredell County late last night. The names of the victims have not been released, and there is no word on any charges. Here's a piece of news for Nicholas Sparks fans. The towering beach house where the film Nights in Rodanthe takes place is on the market. Located on Beacon Road in the Outer Banks town of Rodanthe, the house has 6 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms. You're listening to NCN News.
How can we meet the aspirations of 10 million North Carolinians? At the University of North Carolina System, we do it by harnessing the strength of 17 transformative institutions working towards a unified goal, prosperity for all. Today, the system is united as never before. 17 institutions, individually remarkable and collectively extraordinary. This is the University of North Carolina System.
First place in election reporting, first place in editorials, another honor for news enterprise reporting. Carolina Journal earned all 3 awards from the North Carolina Press Association. When Carolina Journal watches government, people pay attention. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
President Trump says the U.S. will end its military presence in Syria, quote, very soon. His comments came shortly after the Pentagon said American troops need to stay there. Major Garrett has more from the White House.
President Trump yesterday began to improvise about what comes next in Syria, say good morning to the National Park Service, and in so doing, caught the State Department and Pentagon off guard, leaving advisors in both places scrambling to figure out what the president meant and what it might mean for U.S. military action there against ISIS.
Retired Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens believes the students and demonstrators who protested this past week for gun control should seek a repeal of the Second Amendment. But Chris Cooper, head of the Political Science Department at Western Carolina University, tells WLOS News in Asheville.
He's probably being strategic in his own way, putting out there kind of this extreme position and figuring that maybe then a more moderate position won't look so extreme.
An inflammatory talk show host loses advertisers after mocking a survivor of the Parkland school massacre. CBS News correspondent Gary Nunn reports.
I'm Gary Nunn. So far, it is a series of sharp off-air Twitter exchanges.
I am Laura Ingram. Welcome to the Ingram Angle.
Talk show host Laura Ingram mocked Stoneman Douglas student David Hogg for getting rejected by 4 colleges. He on Twitter calling for a boycott of her sponsors. At least 8 have pulled their ads from her show. Ingram has apologized, but Hogg says the apology was just an attempt to keep advertisers from bolting. Gary Nunn, CBS News.
Ferry runs between Hatteras and Ocracoke Island are being adjusted to help with an emergency dredging effort. The North Carolina Department of Transportation says there are concerns about shoaling at the northern end of Ocracoke Island. The adjusted schedules take effect today and will continue until dredging is complete. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The suspect who murdered a Kentucky police officer overnight has been tracked down and killed just over the border in Tennessee. Josh Devine is with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
You better believe that there were a lot of people that were looking. There were a lot of people that were keeping their eyes peeled. There were a lot of people who were wondering, with our close proximity to Hopkinsville, if this individual might wind up here.
That man, James DeCourcy, was spotted by several people and shot by police. He posed as a police officer in Kentucky, pulled over. Off-duty cop Philip Meacham shot and killed him. A lot of questions around Washington this morning after President Trump said the U.S. will be getting out of Syria very soon. ABC's Martha Raddatz.
It was a complete surprise, but it was even more surprising coming from Donald Trump, who always says he will never telegraph the enemy about our military planning or any sort of timeline for withdrawal. Central Command quickly released a statement saying their strategy is to defeat ISIS and they will continue to focus on that. CENTCOM also just announced this morning that 2 coalition personnel have been killed and 5 wounded by an IED in Syria. A sad reminder of the ongoing threat there.
Protests along the Israel-Gaza border have turned violent and deadly. Gaza officials say 3 people are dead, hundreds hurt in clashes with Israel. Sacramento planned to release an independent autopsy today. Officers say they thought Stephon Clark's cell phone in his hand was a gun. Some coffee may have to carry a warning soon.
In a proposed ruling here in L.A., a judge says Starbucks and other coffee companies must start putting cancer warning labels on their products in California, finding the companies did not show that the threat from a chemical produced in the coffee roasting process was insignificant.
ABC's Alex Stone. There may be another big healthcare deal in the works. Wall Street Journal says Walmart's in early talks to buy insurance company Humana. You're listening to ABC News.
With the stock market at all-time highs, cash in your profits now and invest in an asset that can potentially pay for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC-defined accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. Call now to learn how you can potentially achieve 20 or more years of income and deduct 100% of every dollar invested against all forms of income. Call 1-800-803-8511. Invest in your future and buy oil. Encore is drilling in an area that is potentially one of the most prolific horizontal oil plays in the entire country. Oil prices are projected to rise, so you need to own a piece of an oil field. Encore Energy is the most active oil and gas operator in its core area of operations. Call now and learn how to deduct 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 1-800-803-8511. You will be calling directly to the home office of Encore Energy. That's 1-800-803-8511. Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
All over Kentucky today, schools are closed in what appears to be a sick out by teachers. At least 8 districts have had to close down. Teachers are upset after state lawmakers passed a pension overhaul. In Oklahoma, teachers who just got a deal for a pay raise say a walkout plan for Monday is still on. Shauna Mott Wright is with the Tulsa Classroom Teachers Association.
It is a step. It is a start. And that's what we want to say. Thank you for starting the race, but let's finish the race.
With the Final Four set to start this weekend, ABC's Jim Ryan says security is being stepped up in San Antonio.
In the wake of the Boston Marathon bombing, the Las Vegas shooting, and the series of deadly explosions that rattled Austin about an hour north of here this month, security is top of mind in the Alamo City. Final Four organizers are airing a public service announcement.
If you see something that just doesn't seem right, you need to let me know.
They're driving home the point with a visual aid that's been spotted around town, a red backpack that definitely looks suspicious. It's about 12 feet tall. Jim Ryan, ABC News at the Final Four in San Antonio.
With tax day now just a couple of weeks away, audits by the IRS are falling. Last year it audited 1 out of every 160 returns, the lowest number in nearly 2 decades. Budget cuts have forced cuts in staffers at the IRS over the last 8 years. If you've got a ticket on Air France today, check your flight. A strike is forcing the airline to cancel nearly a quarter of all of its flights. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
You're really missing out if you haven't tried the delicious food at Jesse James Railroad Express. Check out the burgers, clubs, hot dogs, fresh salads, taco salads, chicken and tuna salad plates, and of course, delicious Davis donuts and hand-dipped ice cream. They offer a terrific breakfast with made-to-order fresh just for you. They're open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. Call out orders at 447-4644. Jesse James Railroad Express, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford. Railroad Express has received an award for the best coffee shop and the best hamburgers and hot dogs. And mention this ad and get a regular hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions, only 99 cents, Mondays only.
We're waking up the clouds this morning, showers and maybe even a thunderstorm passing on by ahead of a cold front. Now later today, partly to mostly cloudy. Can't rule out a shower until the front passes, which should be later this afternoon. It's windy and mild with a high in the mid to upper 70s. Now there's really not a whole lot of cold air with this front. It's clear tonight, the low in the upper 30s to low 40s. But tomorrow it's mostly sunny, it's less humid, but our highs are in the mid to upper 60s, so it will still be comfortable for Saturday. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
We woke up this morning with a beautiful full moon shining and the stars were twinkling, 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 and we've got pretty clear skies this morning. Highs around 70 for expectations. Now looking toward the Easter weekend on Sunday, mostly cloudy, highs around 70, winds only a light wind. And then, of course, Saturday, tomorrow is going to be beautiful. Highs around 65 and sunny skies. The rain returns to the forecast on Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But these are scattered showers, isolated showers, nothing major, just some pop-up showers from time to time. It looks like springtime is really here. Looks like it really is. I don't see any cold spots coming at all. 72 next Tuesday. And the lowest I see on the temperature gauge is 62. And overnight, of course, 45. But nice weather. I'll take it. At 57 degrees right now here at WCAB in Rutherford. Congratulations to Madison Morrow. He's a 16-year-old student at Chase High School. He won the Daylight Donuts this morning from the drawing. And we're being kind to SDO reporter Ruby Taylor. Turns 88 tomorrow. 88 tomorrow. For the best in laundry and dry cleaning, you can trust your clothes to Folks Cleaners. Professional cleaning all the time, every time. To look your best, drop them off at the Rockwood Plaza location in Forest City. Get one-day service. Use a convenient drive-up window for special service. Look your best with clothes cleaned at Folks Cleaners in Forest City. And ask about the senior discount. We're under our way. We'll get to the news from here and there in just a moment with the Sheriff's Report. We're underway now, just beginning to start our Administrative Professional Day, which is in April. We used to call it Secretary's Day. But politically correct now, we're calling it Administrative Professional Day. It's time to recognize them, bosses, and we can help you do that. Just send us the name of your administrative assistant, and we'll do the rest. And we'll take them out to lunch. We'll draw 10 names. From that, we'll take them out to lunch to Dunn's Italian Restaurant on Friday. We'll have the drawing on Wednesday, April 25th. Take them to lunch on Friday, those that can go. We'll supply a good meal, give away some prizes, some flowers, and give them the recognition on your behalf, and then we'll have them back at work in no time. So get that nomination to us. You can do it any number of ways. You can, if you want to fax it to us under your letterhead, fax it to us at 828-287-7182. You want to email it to us, you can do that. Send it to our website email address, www.wcab59.com, and list the company that you're with and your administrative professional. Or if you want to bring it by here, that's good too. You can bring it by here at 191 Whiteside Road. But we need to get those in pretty soon before time runs out. We have folks after the fact sometimes say, I want to get, well, I'm sorry, it's too late. So get it done now before you're thinking about it, and we'll have a good time recognizing your person who really keeps your office running. Come on over and experience the authentic family-owned Mi Pueblito. Delicious hot meals and daily specials served fresh every day. Mi Pueblito is one of Rutherford County's favorite places to dine. They have been voted #1 best Mexican restaurant in Rutherford County. Enjoy taco salads, burritos, quesadillas, enchiladas. Many popular lunch specials are the all-time favorite, fajitas. They have something for everyone, even the hard-to-please amigo. Great service, warm atmosphere, full-service bar, and a large party room loans available. 2 locations to serve you: South Washington Street in Rutherfordton and Oak Street Extension in Forest City. Or visit them anytime at meatpubs.com. That's meatpubs.com. Visit Mi Pueblito, Mexican cuisine at its finest. I'm a big fan.
Another question for the Tax Fact Street Team.
Hey, IRS, when I donate stuff, I usually just throw everything into a big box. How do I figure that in my taxes?
I'll tell you after this.
New tax laws cause many taxpayers to lose hundreds or even thousands of dollars in refunds because they or their preparer did not know the changes, and the IRS likes it that way. But there is help available. At Central Tax Service, they will get you the biggest and fastest refund allowed by the IRS, guaranteed. Do yourself and not the government a favor. Go see Roger Jolly at Central Tax Service at 542 Oak Street in Forest City, or call them at 245-0557. With a bigger and faster refund, you will be glad you did.
Deductions for charitable contributions are usually the current fair market value of the items. Just make sure you have the proper receipts and records when you file. For more, go to irs.gov.
Well, if I skip out of here in a few minutes, you'll know I've gone to find my fishing pole. Going fishing this weekend. It's going to be nice. Nice. I'm just kidding. I'm not going. I'm going to be here. I'll be here throughout the endurance. 11 minutes after 8, let's look at some stories now from here and there. The Daily Courier is reporting about 4 people being arrested Thursday by officers from the Forest City Police Department. Lieutenant Chris Weeks of the Forest City Police Department said the arrests on Withrow Road, Forest City, were the results of search warrants obtained by the department. Assisting the Forest City Police was the department's special response team. Arrested and charged Thursday were Patrick Alexander Lipscomb, 36, of Withrow Road. He was charged with possession of heroin, possession of drug paraphernalia, and received a $7,500 bond. Philip Ray Green, 48, also stayed at the residence. He was charged with possession with intent to sell and deliver controlled substance, simple possession, controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, $20,000 secured bond. Melissa Dawn Bailey, 44, of Maryland Street, Spindale, was charged with possession of drug paraphernalia. She was released on a written promise to appear. And Emily Sierra Bailey, 18, also of Maryland Street in Spindale, was charged with possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia. She also received a written promise to appear. Meanwhile, yesterday in Rutherfordton, Vietnam War Veterans Day ceremony was held at the courthouse. A flag-raising ceremony was held on the courthouse lawn in recognition of men and women of the armed forces who served during the Vietnam War. Wednesday, March 29th, was recognized throughout the country as National Vietnam War Veterans Day. Rick Harris, who served in the Vietnam War in the United States Marine Corps and who is the head of the Disabled American Veterans, spoke to those gathered Wednesday, which included a number of Vietnam veterans. Harris stated National Vietnam War Veterans Day honors the men and women who served and sacrificed during the longest conflict in United States history. The war spanned a 20-year period, beginning in November 1955 and continued through April 1975 after supporting combat units withdrew from South Vietnam. Approximately 58,000 American soldiers lost their lives in service to the nation. We pause and thank all of those men and women who fought in Vietnam. Those who lost their lives and those who came home injured, we salute you and thank you for your service. And we told you yesterday the Cliffside man that was involved in the standoff died from his gunshot wound. 52-year-old Cliffside man who sustained a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his head after a 7-hour standoff with police, died at Carolina's Medical Center. Sheriff Chris Francis said Green succumbed to the injuries Wednesday afternoon. He'd been on life support. Green of Boiling Springs Road in Cliffside was inside his home as officers arrived there to check on him because the folks were concerned because he hadn't shown up to work apparently. Francis said his department received a call at 7 p.m. after a Cleveland County construction co-worker concerned about Green's well-being notified 911. Deputies were dispatched to Cliffside home for a welfare check on him. That's when he became belligerent and began to fire on the police officers. Well, there's a lot of good news for the folks over on Bethany Church Road. The road has reopened to traffic Thursday afternoon following a 7-month detour due to the building a new bridge over the Floyd's Creek. The $829,000 project by the Department of Transportation received the official go-ahead Thursday. by the bridge inspectors, and by that evening, traffic was once again flowing on the road, much to the delight of those living near the bridge on a heavily traveled road, and much to the delight of those folks who had to make detours for many, many months. Another story on the Voice of North Carolina's Children. County shows growth in child poverty rate. Rutherford County is making small improvements when it comes to child poverty, but that progress isn't coming quickly enough. According to NC Child, a statewide nonprofit, nonpartisan advocacy organization that advances public policy relating to improving opportunities for children. There's a latest report published Tuesday. Rutherford County data show that child poverty and hunger remain major problems for children, as 62.9% are classified as living in poor or low-income homes, according to the 2016 data. This is an improvement from 64.9% in 2015. Well, if you're going to be traveling up around Lake Lord Cimarron Rock this week, and you want to be aware of the fact that the 14th annual Tour de Lure is coming to town this Saturday, hundreds of cyclists will roll through McDowell and Rutherford counties during the 14th annual ride. It begins and ends at the Corpening YMCA in Marion. Hundreds of cyclists from all over the Southeast, the nation, and even Canada will ride through McDowell and Rutherford County for the 14th annual Tour de Lure, one of the premier road biking events in western North Carolina. The Tour de Lure consists of two courses, the Dewey Hughes Memorial Route and also the Corpening YMCA Fun Route. This annual event is highly anticipated among seasoned cycling enthusiasts and beginners alike. The Tour de Lure bicycle ride will be held Saturday starting at 9 a.m. The bicycle ride starts and ends at the YMCA in Marion. Cyclists from all over coming to take part in this Tour de Lure. This year's event is expected to attract 200 participants. The majority of the riders come from North Carolina. A lot of them are from the Asheville area, while others are from Charlotte, Greensboro, and the Raleigh area, according to the spokespeople. Looks like the fun route travels the road, Spalding Road, Veterans Drive, Nicks Creek Road, Lytle Mountain Road, most of these up in McDowell County, Fort Sugar Hill Road, Zion Hill Road, Nicks Creek Road, Veterans Drive, Spalding Road, and back then to the YMCA. Now, the Dewey Hughes Memorial Ride will travel along these routes, some of those same routes there in Marion. The ride will continue along North Carolina 9, US 6474A, Buffalo Shoals Road, Buffalo Creek Road, and Bills Creek Road. It will go through Rutherford County and a small corner of Henderson County. The ride will return then to McDowell County and continue back along Munford Cove Road, Old Fort Sugar Hill Road, Zion Hill Road, Nicks Creek Road, Veterans Drive, and then back onto Spalding Road. So if you're traveling out around tomorrow and see all these folks, just be aware of the fact that they're there, and there may be some slowdown in traffic, and there may be some official escorts, so please watch out for that. 18 minutes now past 8 o'clock here on WCAB's Morning Wake Up Call. Now hear this. Have you heard the three big lies about Medicaid eligibility? First, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your house. That's not true. Second, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. That's not true. And third, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. That's not true. Please call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm for a free consultation and learn the truth about Medicaid and eligibility and nursing home care in North Carolina. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify and not lose everything you own. Call the Arledge Law Firm today at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherford. Again, that's 287-3338.
Hello, this is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates. Are you on disability? Or maybe you're on Medicare, or maybe both. Come see me, Dwayne Hunt at Insurance Service Associates, about a Medicare Advantage product brought to you by Humana. Please give me a call, 245-5301 at Insurance Service Associates, 127 East Trade Street, Forest City.
Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients, when you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care.
Hi everyone, this is Karen with the Home Medical Equipment Department at Smith's Drugs in downtown Forest City. I have taken over for Rhonda for the diabetic shoe and mastectomy services offered here at Smith's Drugs. We have a wide variety of shoes that can be ordered for you after we've had your prescription and a recent foot exam. We also have a large assortment of bras, or we can order what you would like in a variety of colors and styles. Please come in and see me at the Home Medical Equipment Department at Smith's Drugs, here at 139 East Main Street in Forest City, or you can give us a call at 828-245-4591.
Reaching 10 counties from the county seat of Rutherford. This is the Mighty 590 WCAB, Rutherfordton.
Friends don't let friends tune to any other radio station. Good friends recommend AM 59. Shouldn't you be a good friend?
Now here is Deputy Weathers. He gave us the report from the Sheriff's Department earlier this morning. We recorded it for broadcast at this time. Deputy Weathers?
Over the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 138 calls for service. The jail has processed 12 arrests, and there's currently 163 inmates housed in our jail. All we got for you today is arrest reports. And Anthony Dozer of Spartanburg was arrested for assaulting a female, received a domestic violence hold. We have Nicholas Randall of Gaffney, arrested for 2 counts of vandalism. We have a David Roop of Forest City, arrested for contempt of court, received a $1,000 secure bond. And we have Sloan Goff of Spindale, arrested for carrying a concealed weapon, and he received a $500 secure bond. That's all I got for you.
Thanks very much, Deputy Weathers. Well, interesting story out of Florida. A lady blames, she mistook her labor pains for bad Chinese food. Pensacola, Florida. A Florida woman awoke to what she believed were the consequences of a bad dish of General Tso's chicken, but instead had an unexpected baby in arms, and 3 hours later. The Pensacola News-Journal reports 29-year-old Crystal Gail Emerson thought food poisoning was responsible for the stomach pains that woke her up early Sunday, unaware that she was actually 37 weeks pregnant. An ambulance arrived hours later, and the pain escalated. Her second son, 19 inches, 48 centimeters, 5 pounds, entered into the back of the ambulance and soon entered into the world in the back of the ambulance en route to the hospital. Emerson says she's never felt many pregnancy symptoms and didn't notice much weight gain. Although the Chinese food was absolved of the blame, Emerson says she may never look at the Chinese food the same way. I wonder what she named the baby. What she named that baby? General Tso, maybe? Stand by, we got an update on sports coming up in just a few moments, and following that, Word of Faith speaks out right here live in the studio at WCAB.
Flav pulled out his iPhone at Madison Square Garden last night. He was on the court and held the camera steady to record his cousin, Shep Gardner, who clipped the final strands of the championship net and waved them toward the Penn State diehard. Gardner hit a three-pointer that brought Flav to his feet as it helped send fourth-seeded Penn State on its way to an NIT title in an 82-66 victory over Utah. The Nittany Lions also knocked off one-seed Notre Dame during the tournament en route to winning their first NIT title since 2009. Penn State coach Pat Chambers says the NIT title is an important moment for the program.
I think it's a springboard for us to win 26 games, to cut down some nets. That means winning. You're winning, you're finding success. And that helps everything out. That helps ticket sales, that helps recruiting, that helps so much. We've created a lot of excitement, but it's definitely a validation of how hard the staff has worked.
Flav's t-shirt said it all. Believe the hype.
Yeah, boy!
For Gardner, Grant Hill has been notified of his induction into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame as part of the 2018 class. He was a two-time national champ and two-time All-American at Duke and a seven-time NBA All-Star. A formal announcement will come this weekend at the Final Four in San Antonio. And East Carolina's search for a new head basketball coach will continue. That after NC Central head coach Lavelle Moton announced he'll return to Central for a 10th season.
I have nothing but respect for East Carolina, but it just wasn't the right time and right situation for me and my family right now. And we're extremely happy at North Carolina Central.
Like so many kids, LeBron James idolized Michael Jordan. James is about to surpass his childhood hero. The Cleveland Star matched Jordan's NBA record by scoring in double digits in 866 consecutive games. He did it Wednesday night. James can break Jordan's mark at home tonight and extend a streak that underscores his durability, consistency, and greatness. This is NCN Sports.
I'm Patrick Johnson with this week's Undaunted ECU Spotlight. It shines on track and field athlete Courtney Warner from CB Aycock High School. The junior nursing major had a great indoor season, claiming 3 individual event titles, setting records in the 60-meter dash. Warner now owns the time at the Liberty Elite Invitational and tied the school record at the American Athletic Conference Championships. East Carolina celebrates Courtney Warner of Goldsboro and all of our undaunted student athletes. For the latest on ECU athletics, visit ECUPirates.com.
Sometimes in life it doesn't get any better than a trip to Smithfield's.
Okay, here's a don't get any better. Smithfield's pork shoulder slow cooked fresh every day.
Here's better. Barbecue sandwich combo with fries and coleslaw.
Here's better. Barbecue platter.
Here's better. Combo platter with barbecue and that juicy southern fried chicken.
Here's better. The choices you love made fresh daily.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
3 former college football players, 2 from Clemson, 1 from Duke, have been arrested and charged with armed robbery and possessing a weapon while committing a crime. The 3 are Jadar Johnson and C.J. Fuller from Clemson and Quavon Ferguson from Duke. According to Clemson police, the 3 knocked on the victim's door, forced their way in, and took cash and a cell phone. All 3 had their bond set at $25,000. Their legal representation is not clear. NBA action last night. San Antonio is back in position to open the NBA's Western Conference quarterfinals at home. The Spurs beat the 5th-place Thunder 103-99 to move into 4th in the West. The Rockets clinched 1st in the Western Conference with the Warriors' 3rd straight loss against the Bucks. The Pacers beat the Kings, and they sit just behind 4th-place Philadelphia in the East. The Pistons dealt the Wizards their 4th loss in 5 games, and Washington's lead in the Southeast now down to a half game after the 2nd-place Heat beat the Bulls 103-92. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We're waking up the clouds this morning, showers and maybe even a thunderstorm passing on by ahead of a cold front. Now later today, partly to mostly cloudy. Can't rule out a shower until the front passes, which should be later this afternoon. It's windy and mild with a high in the mid to upper 70s. Now there's really not a whole lot of cold air with this front. It's clear tonight, the low in the upper 30s to low 40s. But tomorrow it's mostly sunny, it's less humid, but our highs are in the mid to upper 60s, so it will still be comfortable for Saturday. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Sunny skies and 58 degrees currently. We're warming up to about 70 around here this week. Today and this week is going to be kind of nice all the way through Sunday. Mostly cloudy on Sunday. A lot of sun, some clouds, highs around 70. Then the rain comes back in the forecast for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. We can enjoy this beautiful Easter weekend. Right now it's 58 degrees. This is WCAB Rutherfordton. It's 8:30. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much again for tuning in with us to Word of Faith Responds. And we are sharing with you about what God has done in our lives at the Word of Faith Fellowship. And today I have a good friend of mine, Stephen. He came to the Word of Faith Fellowship in 2000, and he actually came from Ecuador. And he had quite a life in Ecuador. You're going to be shocked as you listen to this amazing story of how God completely pulled him out of an absolute mess in his life, a life where he did not know anything about God, and it was a wild life, a life of violence. There was crime. There was a lot of women involved constantly in his life, and so you're going to hear an absolute miracle as he shares with you, and I want to just jump right into that. He needs the full time here, so let's listen closely as Stephen shares what God has done in his life. Stephen?
Thank you, Mark, and good morning, everybody, and thank you, Jim, for having us here. And like Mark said, I grew up in Ecuador, in the big city of Quito, the capital of Ecuador, and my parents, they have 6 children, so I am the second youngest. And my parents, they didn't know nothing about God, so our family was a dysfunctional family. My parents, they have all the time strife at home. My dad was a well-known banker, and he held a big responsibility and job, and he was well-known in his bank. So a lot of people knew him, and he was Mr. Ecuador, and about that too, a lot of people knew him because of his background in sports.
Are you talking about the bodybuilding, Mr.
Yeah.
Ecuador's and his weightlifting and bodybuilding?
Yeah, it's a version of Miss United States, version of men. You show how big you are, and you win. So anyway, like I said, my dad and mom, they have a lot of strife between them, and we grew up in that environment. My dad had a large family as well, and all the time drinking, and many things that went wrong there. So I grew up in that environment, and like I said, my dad was the instrumental for me to start bodybuilding. I started lifting weight when I was 8 years old, and but at the age of 15, I was full-time doing this bodybuilding, building my body. And in that point, I was a very depressed child because of the situation at home, and I really I love my parents, but I didn't want to be around them, because my dad used to tell me about my mom, and mom used to tell me about my dad, and I hate that. And of course, going to school, I start being violent as well. I feel I was a very abused child because of the environment at home, but I show in school that I was violent with my classmates, and when I started bodybuilding, I said I'm going to be bigger than my dad. I'm going to be better, and everybody's going to respect me, and because I had an emptiness of love. I feel rejected by my parents. I decided I will build up myself. So everybody will love me, the girls will love me, and the boys will respect me, and they will be around me as a protection or whatever. So in that point, I was doing that. I was full-time bodybuilding, and I become big. And in that point in high school, my classmates, they were afraid of me, and the other school students, they were afraid of me when we have ball games and stuff like that. So anyway, in that point, I was full of pride. I was, I was reaching what I was looking for. But in that point, I could not take anymore my situation at home. So I applied for a grant to go to school in Brazil. And actually, I was granted to a university. I went for engineer school. So I was in Brazil for 3 years, still, lifting weights, involved with girls, and that kind of lifestyle. I was very intimidating people all the time, and fighting and that kind of stuff, lifestyle. And I was in Brazil for 3 years, and the last year and a half I was there, I got married, and I was dating this girl from Ecuador, and we got married. And that situation slowed me down. I was going to school, I was going home, and I was pretty slowed down in my doings. So the time came when we came back to Ecuador. I came back to Ecuador, and so I thought, well, I think the best way for me to do is, I open a fitness center, because I knew about it, I was good about it, and I learned many things in Brazil as well. And sure enough, and in my mind, I said, I will be the best also here. I will be the best fitness center in town. And sure enough, I built up this body center. I was in a penthouse in a building, and my name went up immediately because we have even the best equipment that you can find in the time. The floors, they were marble and a special carpet with rubber protection and all kind of stuff. So it was in the penthouse. You can see the city. That was a 360 degrees view. So a lot of members came. A lot of people came. We have thousands of members, and in that point, I invited my two brothers to become my partners in the business because it was growing so fast and we were making a lot of money. And in that point, I just back up a little bit. When I make a decision to get married, I knew my dad was running with girls all the time because his position as a banker. He had a lot involved with women, and I said to myself, I will never do that to my wife. I will never betray my wife the way my dad did to my mom. But I started in the bodybuilding and the gym and all the stuff, and sure enough, I had plenty opportunities to do that, and I did. I failed the test. All my thinking, I just push away. I just was getting involved with women all the time, with girls, with different ages of ladies, even married women, and I didn't care. At this point, I was so full of wounds, and I didn't care the emotions of people. I didn't care anything, and I was being violent with people. I was intimidating, fighting, and hitting pretty bad people, hurt people pretty bad. And anyway, in this point, I had a friend of mine that he was a bodybuilder. We become very close friends, and this young man told me that his brother was a pastor, and he was coming from New York. So I said, well, good. I mean, I didn't have a clue what a pastor was. I thought it was a guy who had a big tunics and a big cross here, and that was the image that I have about him. So anyway, time went on, and I got involved with this young man's sister, and he didn't like that, but I didn't care either.
Were you still married at that time?
Yeah, in that time I still married, running with all these girls. In that point, my wife was find out all this my doings, and she kicked me out of the house, and I don't blame her, because I mean I was so bad to her, and she got news from all these people, from all what my doings, and even friends of her, and anyways, in this point, I was running with different relationships that, I mean, I was literally become a crazy person. I was so anger, so much anger in me You know, I was always all the time finding somebody who I want to fight with. So anyways, at this point, I was also looking for, I met this lady that was a doctor, a medical doctor, and she practiced this bioenergy medicine. That was a new thing to me, but I thought, well, she can help me, you know, because I wanted to be bigger, I wanted to be stronger, so I was seeing her very often, you know, pretty much every week. And, you know, she was giving me this overdose of vitamins, overdose of heavy metals. Even she gave me, I remember the other night, she gave me a 7 serpent poison. But I believe her. I mean, I believe everything what she was saying to me. I just want to, you know, reach that point to be bigger and stronger and have a lot of energy. And I was, you know, lifting weights pretty much every day for hours, and I was, of course, a personal trainer, you know, and I keep doing my things with these ladies at the gym, and this lady, this doctor lady, she told me one day, I said, you have some bad spirits on you, so you need to be clean out of that. So I said, well, okay. So like I said, I believe her everything that she said. So she sent me to it's called in Ecuador, it's called shaman. Is a Ecuadorian Indian. He was the witchcraft doctor. So he started doing these things to me every often, and I become very close friend with him. You know, because
this is the witch doctor.
Witch doctor. So he told me one day, I will give you this because you're my friend. He gave me a seed. And he said, this is a lucky thing. I will protect you for anything. And then so you keep in yourself all the time. So I was keeping this seed with me, you know, as a protection type of thing.
You're talking about like a plant seed?
Yeah, as a seed. Okay. Sorry, as a seed of, I don't know what kind of seed it was, but he gave me that. He said that it was perfect for me, so I was using that. Anyway, so I remember I was doing kayak one day in, you know, Ecuador. Quito is very high elevation. It's very high in the mountains, and the rivers there are very fast. You know, they go down the hill very fast, and this real specific river was full of water because it was a lot of rain. So I jumped in the river, and this kayak sure enough, I fell off of the kayak, and I thought that, you know, I thought that that was it. I'm going to die this time because, you know, I was in fights and knives and guns and everything. You know, I was able to come out of that. So, but this time I said, I'm going to die this time. So I reached to see if I had my seed with me, and I noticed that it was gone in the water. So at that point I said, God help me. So sure enough, I hit that rock, a huge rock, and I jumped in the air, and I was able to grab a hold of a branch that was sticking out of the shore of the river, and I was able to come out. So I said, well, I forgot about God. I just say, well, one more time, I'm lucky, you know, good for me. So I was doing this all the time. I was again fightings and stuff like that.
Who would you be getting in fights with?
Yeah, what happened was I came out with this big idea because I get reports of my customers at the gym that they have been broke into, the cars broke into, and stealing the radios and the wheels and all kind of stuff. So I said, well, you know what? Let me get some guys here, and we will get these thieves. Every night we were in the watch, you know, and sure enough, I mean, every other day, pretty much, we went after thieves, and we were let them have it pretty badly. You know, we didn't have any compassion anyway. But at this point, I was so involved with that too. You know, I really liked to do that because I thought I was doing a good thing. You know, I was catching these thieves, these criminals, and I'm doing my own justice. You know, I thought it was a great thing. So anyway, one night I was sure enough, somebody came and said, "Hey, I saw two thieves there in a motorcycle." So I ran. I took a baseball bat with me. I ran there. Sure enough, I was running behind them. They were driving a big motorcycle, a dirt bike. You know, I used to have bicycles, so I knew what kind of motorcycle it was. So I ran and was going to hit them pretty badly with the bat, but they were able to turn around and they fell, both of them in the motorcycle. They fell. They ran away. So I took the motorcycle with me. So that kind of stuff I was doing. You know, crazy. It got worse and worse and worse with the time. You know, was involved. I already have a gun with me and was shooting. Somebody got hurt. One of the criminals got shot one time, and and we were the good guys because, you know, we have business and you know, these criminals, they were putting in jail. But anyways, in this point, I remember so clear. This is a key here because, you know, I have so much people in the gym coming to the gym, and on two occasions somebody came to me and said, "You need Jesus in your life, and then you need to become Christian." And I look in the two different circumstances. I looked to them and said, "You are talking about me become like you? You are like me. You know, I don't want to be Christian like you because you are doing the same thing that I'm doing. You know, running with girls, smoking, drinking, and all these things. At least I'm not saying I'm Christian." So I push away those two instances with those two people that came to me and talked to me about Jesus. But anyways, at this point, I was spending so much money with all my doings, my girls, my trips, and all this stuff. And at this point, I was my bills, they were crazy high. So I decided to sell some of my shares with my brothers. So
shares of your business?
Shares of my business. So I was able to pay the bills. So I have a bad relationship with my brothers anyway. You know, we fight each other and because of the business itself. So I was doing other things to get money, and I remember one night, a specific night, I was riding a bicycle, and it was night. I think it was Sunday. I remember because it was, you know, the Quito's big city, was no traffic. I was coming back home, and I was so angry that night, Mark. I was about to explode. So much anger in me. But let me back up a little bit. A key point here too is I was running with this girl that, remember, the older brother was a pastor. So when I met him, I knew, the image that I have of a pastor was totally different. He was a nice man, and you know, he never told me about God, anything. And one day I went to visit this girl in her house, and she warned me, as some people here with my older brother visiting my parents, and is some American people there. So I went to the house and I saw these American people, and I say hello to them, you know, and I went on doing my own things. So anyway, and this later on I found out they were people from Word of Faith. Those were members of Word of Faith because the pastor, this man pastor, was affiliated with the Word of Faith. So he had contact with Word of Faith here in Spindle. So anyways, I was coming back to the other point that when I was doing my...
When you were talking about when you were coming home one night, and you were
coming home
with your bicycle,
with
felt a lot of anger.
Yes, I was so about to explode. So I saw this man coming walking, and I said, well, I'm going to lean towards him so he can bat me and then get in a fight with him. Sure enough, I did that, but I didn't know that he was with another person. That this person had a stick, a pretty thick stick. So we got involved. In my mind, I said, I will take away the stick and I will let them have both of them. In that point, a car stopped, and there were a couple boys that used to come to the gym, and they stopped me. And they said, stop, don't do that. So they took me home. I remember so clear, Jim. I went home that night. I was so sick inside of me. And I just fell in my floor, in my condominium. I was living by myself, so I fell on the floor and I started yelling and crying out to God. Literally with all in me, inside I was, God, you got to help me. Somebody is going to kill me one day, or I'm going to kill somebody. I don't want to live this way anymore. So the first thought came to my mind was, go and see that man, that pastor from New York. I met him a year before. So sure enough, I knew where he was living, so I went there and see him. And he had a message for me, because my heart was ready to hear from God, because I didn't know nothing about God, nothing about Christianity, nothing about Jesus. That next day, God himself came to me, and this pastor, God used him to help me, to teach me about the Bible. I was meeting with him pretty much every day. So in this process of this, and I was seeing my life. I mean, my life was a mess because I didn't have Jesus, and I really want to fill up this emptiness in my heart with something. All the things that I did and didn't work. I always said, I hate the things that my dad did, but I become worse than him, because I could not stop, because I realized, because I didn't have Jesus. If Jesus was in my heart, I could stop that. But I could say with my mouth, I don't want to say that, or I don't want to do that, but I never have the power, because I am Jesus. I didn't have Jesus. So anyway, I started studying the Bible and getting into knowing Jesus. And it was a miracle, Mark, because, I was in the bodybuilding for 15 years. I was consumed by that. Consumed. I had 2 beautiful daughters in my first marriage, and I didn't spend much time with them because I was involved in exercising and all these things that I told you. But anyway, so I came back. I was still lifting weights. So one night I came to the gym. I remember so clear. I was in my knee. I was putting weights in a bar. I was getting to start my exercise routine, and these boys came to me and I said, "Look around." And I looked around and I saw, I saw so clear, Mark, to me was the lifestyle that was meaning to me. All these people who were showing themselves. You get possessed by that. You get possessed by, I want to look this way. I want to attract these people. I want to be tough. And I saw clear. And the boy said, "It's not craziness to you?" And I said, "Yes, this is crazy." So it's like my first time in my life I saw this. It was amazing. So I took off. I went out. I never come back to the gym. The same thing happened with clothing. I was wearing all these tight jeans and tight shirts and all this look of bodybuilding lifestyle. Because I didn't have any personality. I was copying somebody else. I was copying my idols, those big guys in the bodybuilding world. I walked the way they walk. I talk the way they talk. Literally, I was an empty person. A big guy, 200 pounds, full of muscle, but nothing inside, literally. So anyway, I went home and I threw away every single piece of garment that I have, except what I was wearing that was kind of decent. God convicted me about music, because in the gym with my friends used to pump, let's put this music, that pumping music, we call it pumping music, is music that pull you, get you that feeling, to feel very wild, in other words. And on the other hand was the music that make me feel so sad, and I was asking God, why is that, God? Why I feel this way when I'm listening to this kind of music? And God told me, look, the lifestyle of singers, and I was shocked. I was looking the lifestyle of the singers. They were drug addicts. They were, they had problems, in other words. So I said, well, I quit this stuff. I'm not doing this anymore. So anyway, the TV, the same thing. God showed me those things. Personally, to me, that was precious, because if a man will tell me, I will not believe that. But it was God. I started learning that was God. Those voices I hear in my mind was God telling me things. So at that point, because this pastor was affiliated with Word of Faith, I was able to come to a youth seminar in 1997. My first time coming to a youth seminar.
That's at this Word of Faith.
Word of Faith here in Spindale. Before that, I was able to listen a tape that Sam Whaley was teaching. I didn't speak any English, and I didn't know nothing. But I remember when I listened to that tape, I didn't understand one word. But I cried. I said, I want to meet that man right there. I want to meet that man. So anyway, I was able to come in 97. And I came here. I said, these people is real. These people is the people who I read in the Bible. In the book of Acts, these people are the true disciples of God. So I said, I need to come here. But I of course, I was divorced. I have 2 daughters in Ecuador. So I went back, and I came back in 98 with my daughters. They were little. They love her. They love to be here. So anyway, I went back to Ecuador. And in 2000, I was granted with a 5-year visa. So I said, I'm going. I knew God will restore my daughters to me, and I came here. And I came here to become a minister. I want to learn about Jesus. So anyways, at this point, Kent and Brooke Covington, who have been attacked for a lot of people, they receive me as a son.
These are you're talking about Brent, Kent and Brooke Covington in the Word of Faith
Word of Faith
ministers there.
Exactly. They receive me as their son. They didn't care about my background as a criminal. They love me. They never charged me a penny being in their house. And I'm so grateful to them. And I'm so grateful to Sam and Jane Whaley, because they have been paying the price for us to learn Jesus. And my life is transformed. I moved here in 2000, and I was not perfect. I still have a lot of problems, a lot of things in my heart that was not right. But Mark, I always think about Lazarus in the Bible, when Jesus commanded him to come out of the tomb. That was me. I was dead, and I came out of the tomb. But the scriptures goes on and said, Jesus told his disciples, unwrap that man and let them go free. That was me. These ministers here, including you, Carol Reynolds, all these ministers, Gerald and Linda Sutherland, Sam and Jane Whaley, Brooke and Kent, they unwrapped me out of those filthy rags that I was involved. And I'm coming free every single day. And I'm so grateful to them. Today, I got married here in 2005. I have a beautiful wife. She loves me. And she loves Jesus first. And if I'm wrong, she will let me know that I'm wrong. And I love her to death because of that. I will not trade her for anything.
And you just heard such a wonderful testimony, and that's so stood out to me, that when God spoke to him about Lazarus, unwrap him. What a powerful word, and that's what happened in his life. He said how he was dead in the world, and all of a sudden God raised him from the dead because Jesus came into his heart, and God unwrapped Stephen. And that was so precious when you shared that. And of course, one of his daughters actually moved here as well and is here with him. So And so thank you again for tuning in with us, and you can go to our website at wordoffaithfellowship.org and hear more radio programs that we have done. We hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.